After graduating from Boston College, magna cum laude, what does a girl do? Pick up work as a cage dancer, of course. Her mother was so very proud. Lori makes a gruesome discovery in her kitchen. Kim shares an email she sent from the computer lab. And Terri cries on prom night. Welcome to Generation Artex.
Are you ready for us? Come on, Kim. I'm interviewing you, Lori. Everybody knows I am the star of this show. Have we see?
Hi, I'm Terri. I'm the oldest, and I have an almost 20-year-old cat who just went through major surgery and is walking around the joint like it didn't happen.
Yep,
Yay,
one
that's
life down.
resilience. That's
got
resilience.
8 to go.
He's got eight to go.
Yep. Well, good. Keeping the stereotype alive. I'm
Yep.
Kim. I'm the middle, and I just got back from Italia.
I want to hear about that. Yes.
I did 1 week that, when you go away and you're doing a lot of stuff, felt like a month in all the good and, hot temperature ways, but it was great. It was great.
I felt like
Now
you were gone for a month. All the things you did, I
Yeah.
was like, is she still there?
It was a week, and I am back stateside facing
is
all of
long.
the things. What? A week is
A
long.
week is long. Like 7 days you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's long.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I'm Lori. I'm the youngest. And I've been saving to tell you guys something to tell you here.
You don't
No, don't get excited. It's
Okay.
gross.
I'm not
So yeah, don't be excited. So Gordy and I were down in Wareham for a couple days, and I came back. We were probably gone longer than we're normally gone from this house, and came back like 4 days later. Gordy got home before me, and
Oh no.
he
I'm so
goes,
afraid. I'm so
It's
afraid.
gonna be
of what you
bugs.
found.
It's gonna be bugs.
Oh God.
I can feel bugs.
he goes,
coming.
"There's a smell. There's a smell in here. I can't figure it out." We're usually pretty good about that, like making sure the dishwashers run and there's nothing sitting in the sink and whatever. And obviously the dog was with us, so there was no reason. And he's like, he kept pulling me, being like, "I can't find it. It's driving me nuts. I can't find it. It's really bad." And he's like, put his head in the trash. He's like, it's not coming from the trash. And it went the bathrooms. He's like, it's not coming from the bathrooms. The next pull is, "You would die." And I'm like, oh God, what is
Oh
it?
no. I'm
And he
afraid.
tried to show me. We had accidentally left Marty's dog food bowl, which includes wet food and dry food. And it's fly season.
Oh.
So flies are everywhere. He showed me a video. The entire thing was just moving with maggots. It was like a bowl of maggots. It was like the scene from Lost Boys when he looks down at the rice and he's in the cave and it's actually all maggots and stuff.
Ew.
Oh my God.
Wait, but that smells? Is dog food smelling? Or because the maggots are breaking down the food. They're eating the food.
There's a
right?
smell. When there's maggots, there's a very specific smell.
Really? I don't know
Oh
that.
my God.
And it's bad. It smells like
God.
decomposition, right?
I mean,
Which is
it
what
is.
it is.
So
They're
it is.
causing
That's what it is. Right. But so that, I have maggots is like my thing, my like one real thing that I'm like, oh no, I can't do it. I was like, what did you do? He's like, he had to get out. Like we have disposable gloves. He got out the disposable gloves and he had to like bang it into a bag. I was like, I can't. I came inside. I was like,
bang it into a bag, throw the whole thing out. What are you talking
everything
about?
it's a stainless steel bowl. I don't know why he saved the bowl.
Bye.
I would
bowl
not
is
save
out
this.
with the
I'll buy you.
bathwater.
I'll buy you a new.
I was
stainless steel dog
on the
bowl.
highway. I was like, I'm gonna turn around, just burn the house down.
Back to the beach.
Burn the entire house.
No. And then I was like, are you sure there are none crawling on the ground? Like I can't.
That's what I was
even
going to
come
say.
inside.
Would it stay contained?
Yes, they
Would say
only want the
contained.
food.
They would.
They don't want to hang out in
Yeah,
your
they're not.
house.
Yeah.
I can't believe he didn't throw the bowl out. I can't believe
Yeah.
that.
He put them in your
Yeah.
dishwasher.
No, he emptied
No.
it out. He cleaned it. There were no more maggots in it.
You could not pay me to clean that bowl. I'd be like, I
Nope.
guess
Oh
I
no.
lost the bowl.
I was like, I was like, I actually don't know what would have happened if I had come home first and saw it.
You think you'd throw up?
Because it's like my line. No, I would have screamed
Did
and,
you have
and run
cried?
out of the house. Would I have cried? No. I would have left, though. I would have left. I don't know if I had Marty with me. I don't know where we would have gone. But I would have left.
You would have walked the streets.
Lori's on the run. Where are you going? I just can't go home again. Why?
It's like I can't do it. There could be blood, feces. I can handle all of that. I can't handle. There could have been, ants. I have ants just that I know we already talked about Kim, you and ants, but like I'll have ants just like walking up and down my screen like while I'm working on my computer. Like I'm fine. And I'm becoming friends with spiders. We're working on that.
I respect them. I respect
me
them.
too.
I do. I just think like the really big ones, like I've been like, you really can't be in here. Like there's other places you can be. You could be under the house. Like you can have that, right? There's
Lori's pretty tough.
Like, you can't be in here.
Lori's tough. She can handle a lot.
I can't handle maggots. Yeah. I mean, I had to when like that period of time where we didn't know where the pantry moths were growing. And we just kept finding them, like the larvae crawling across the pantry ceiling.
God.
And I had to kill them. And that like destroyed my soul a little bit because I hated them so much. Because I didn't want anything to do with it. But I knew if I let it crawl away, it was going to continue. So I had to get them. But it was like, it's like now every time I pass that space, I look like afraid. Like I look at the ceiling to see if there's like larvae crawling across it.
Do you think amazing though? Go ahead.
Do you think it's because of that scene in Poltergeist?
I think it is.
Where there were maggots in his face before he ripped his face off?
No.
You don't think it's because of that? I think it might be. Okay.
I mean, that's a sense memory for me too. Like remembering him pulling stuff off his face. But
there were maggots crawling in the holes in his face. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he ripped his face off. I think that's deep in there. I think it contributes.
Maybe. I can't say it doesn't.
But it's also primal. Maggots are death. It means something's dying. People and animals who are decomposing, there's disease, there's germs.
I'm okay
it's astonishing
with vultures.
To me. You're okay with vultures? But I mean, it is an amazing thing. Both fungus, how it grows on things and, breaks things down, and maggots. I remember hearing on something, who knows what, that if none of that stuff existed, we wouldn't exist because the world would be deep in corpses. We would just be covered. Like they're doing the work.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're doing a lot of work. Yeah.
They're doing a lot of work and they show up. The fact that they're like, oh, whoops, we have to take care of this. If you did not do anything, say you're gone for a month or more, they would eat down that food and then they would be gone too. It's not like they move in, it's not like an infestation like rats or something.
There's another animal. What's the other animal? There's something else that's known for decomposing, for breaking things down. I don't know what it was. It was something because my Graham was all like, oh no. I was like, no, they're so important. They break things down. But I can't remember what it was. And it definitely
I love
was not
all these things in
not
theory.
In defense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the carbon cycle. It's the carbon cycle.
It's the carbon cycle.
Good for the carbon cycle.
When we were at your
we need it.
wedding, Allie and I were staying in Airbnb. That was just kind of okay. It looked really nice. It smelled funny. First of all, I'm going to tell you this. When I walked in, it smelled really strongly of like a Glade plug-in, which I hate those. It was so strong. I had that synthetic strong smell. And I was like, And we're like, unplug them. We're like, where are they? We kept finding them in the walls and pulling them out. And I was like, now it's going to smell great. We're on the Cape. Open the windows. And all of a sudden I was like, and I realized they were there because
covering something
else smelled great. Right. And we were sitting on the couch. Allie's like, does this couch smell like feet? I was like, I can't. The carpet, something, but I'm like, you need to throw it out or get a new carpet. Everything needs to change. You don't put scent with, on top of it. But here's the part that was really gross. She had a lemonade, bought it. It was in a plastic cup. The cup was basically empty. We left it on the counter and we had been out. When we come back, and all of a sudden I'm, that moment when you're like, what's on that cup? Like you realize something's moving. Fucking hate that moment. And I'm like, oh. And there were ants that were attracted. It's sugar. It's just sugar in the cup, right? Empty. And then I look and then the counter, there's traffic, the ants are trying to get there.
Doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother you? I was like,
I hate
so
it.
I grabbed it. We threw it out. But then once you remove the source, it is literally, they are gone. It's not like they're hanging out waiting and looking at you. They're gone. I don't know where they go, but it is so upsetting. I find it very emotionally upsetting, as you have, Lori, with the pantry moths.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that story, and I
Can't.
hate that you kept that bowl. It's gross.
I think it's funny that
Yeah.
you're obsessed with the ants, though, Kim. That you're upset by
I'm
ants.
not
more than
obsessed.
maggots
I
are
just
way
really
grosser.
don't like them. The big ones, the carpenter ants. I feel like
the thick ones,
they're
yeah.
like machines. Yeah.
Do you
They're like
remember growing up
soldiers.
when we had ants in the house? Like you'd have that moment we had ants in the house. We'd be like, Dad, and you'd look in the
Yeah, they would come and spray in the
That
house.
happens
We
every year.
poisoned all
they'd
of
be
us.
on the ground, like a whole line of them up the wall, whatever.
Mhm.
Isn't that terrifying? You feel like nature's about to take over. You
Yeah, I
don't
don't
have
like it.
I
terrifying
don't think
memories
it's
of it?
terrifying. No,
You don't?
I don't mind it. Mm-mm. I
Okay,
get
let's
ants every
change the
once in a while.
subject. Do we have to keep talking about this?
Can we talk about one more
No.
thing though? Those TikToks,
Okay.
are they real? Where they show these spiders in Australia that are like the size
I think
of,
they are real,
Yeah, I
they're
think
like
they
this
are.
big.
and everyone has like a house spider.
It's a
Yeah.
okay, a house spider.
They
This
look
thing was
like
like
Muppets.
they look like Muppets.
Yeah.
They're like not wolf spiders. They're something else. They're from Australia. They're in Australia.
Are they not?
Hunting,
No, they're not.
hunter.
Hunter.
And I love the comments. I will look at those sometimes, but like, I cannot
I know.
imagine seeing that. It looks like an something out of the prehistoric times, and people are
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, it sucks. You have to move out now."
Yeah.
Huntsman.
Huntsman.
Even the sound of that, I can't.
They're unreal how big they are. They
But they're
look
not
like
dangerous?
you get them
It's
at
like-
like a Halloween shop.
Yes.
Right.
Do they not murder
They're
you
like
in your sleep?
doing, doing.
Yeah.
like hang from a string and bounce.
I think
You
of
don't
a
think they murder you?
huntsman as the guy who was told in Snow White by the,
Snow
you know,
White.
Yes.
Mhm.
yeah, to go and get her heart, and then he
You know
didn't.
what's funny? He
What?
was hotter than the prince.
Prince Charming.
Prince Charming.
Oh, you think
Totally.
he's better looking than Joe?
Huntsman was way hotter.
No, the
Huntsman was
Prince
so
Prince
much
Charming
hotter.
looked like Joe.
Remember when he like saved her? He had a beard. He was
Well,
more
that's what I was
rugged.
going to say. He had a beard. He had a lumberjack look. And how about the huntsman spider is what he turned into in A Curse?
That's really I don't even know how to respond to. Any
Is
of
that real? What?
Yes, the huntsman from Snow White. That's why we have huntsman spiders. Because
This is so
She just
weird.
Completely made
It's such
that
a
up.
bizarre.
what do you mean?
joke.
Is this real? No, of course not. It's not real.
Wow,
What are we
Kim
talking
coming
about?
up with parables on the spot.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes
Right.
sense.
that's correct.
All right, so
But it
let's
makes
get
sense. It
away
makes
from
sense that
bugs.
I'm more attracted to the rugged guy who's hired to kill people, and the
Right.
bearded tough forest guy. And Kim likes the dude in tights who keeps his hands clean
Yeah.
with his long hair.
Yes, and I
So,
like
yeah.
Tinkerbell and Peter Pan.
Right.
'Cause Peter Pan is non-binary. Let's just admit.
Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. Yeah.
Yep.
You know who you would like, Terry, in Snow White is her friend by the wishing well. She was super cute, the redhead.
Mm.
I'm wishing.
She was so
I'm
cute.
wishing. When she was like, make a wish, say it into the well. She's
my
adorable.
girl.
She's for you.
No,
Okay.
no. I want the woman version of the Huntsman. That's what I want.
Oh, that's true.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. So who's
All right.
up first? You?
Sure. I have okay, this set the stage. This is January 21st, 1996. So I used to email mom from the computer lab, and I printed all the emails out. And just a little background is that this was my sophomore year, January. So I had dated Andy the year before and then into sophomore year. And for some reason, we decided to take a break, right? I still don't really
Yeah,
get
for some
why.
reason he was horrible for you.
No, that wasn't the reason. Because then we
Okay.
got back together again for another year after that.
Will you please explain to everyone what a computer lab is? Because not everyone knows.
It's
Actually,
a
I think
room
everybody,
lab?
our audience does know.
Actually, our audience
Yeah,
doesn't.
right.
Can you
It's a
imagine you have
room
to
with
walk
like
through the
rows
dark?
and rows of Apple IIe's.
You have to go through the
computers.
snow at night to go email someone. You have to
Yeah,
go
you had to go into
to
the room.
library.
No, it wasn't Apple IIe's, but you had to tell them when you got in line if you wanted a PC or an Apple.
Oh, I
Really?
don't,
I
I
don't
don't
remember
remember that because I wouldn't have known the difference.
Oh,
Maybe
they're
they
totally
might have
different
changed
operating
that.
systems.
I know, but
Okay.
they might have changed that when it was you. But anyway. Okay.
Anyway.
No, it was, I don't know. We were on a break, put it that way. Okay. I laughed out loud when I read this part because I'm like, who is this person? Hey, mom,
you're
I
writing.
just woke. This is me emailing mom.
Mhm.
Hey, mom, I just woke up at 2:30 p.m. today, Sunday.
Wow.
Wow.
2:30. I know it's really gross, but I didn't go to bed until 4-ish. which is
That's
just
fair.
beyond. It's just beyond. And Friday night, I didn't go to bed until 6 a.m. What is happening?
What? Life is
What was I
that.
doing? What is
Calling me.
happening? What is college? I've been doing a lot of hanging out with a lot of people. It's been fun. I went to the furniture store yesterday with Terri. Terri, who was out in the world looking for furniture, apparently. And we
Where were
sat
you
on
living in 93, 96?
6.
I was living in my first apartment, I guess.
Strathmore. I think you were in Strathmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Cleveland Circle, right?
I
Okay.
got
Yeah.
a couch there. Did you come with me to get my green couch?
Yeah, hold
Sounds
on,
like it.
hold on. I went to
Okay,
the
okay.
furniture store yesterday with Terri, and we sat on 8 million different couches, figuring out how cozy they really were, how comfortable they'd be to sleep on, because you like to nap on a couch, and how we could curl up on them if we were reading or watching TV. So we found one we liked, but she wants to go to a few other stores before she makes any big decisions. Sounds right. I would have been
Yep.
like, okay, this one's good. All right, I have an absolutely unreal amount of reading to do today, but I'll just take it bit by bit. I don't have a class until 1 o'clock tomorrow, so I'll stay up late to read. Okay, I've been spending most of my time with Robin and Keith and blah, blah, listing all the people I'm hanging out with. And about Andy, I wish I could be with him all the time, but I don't even call him. However, he calls, it's just the weirdest break, and I don't remember it and I don't get it. However, he calls just about every day, always to ask me or tell me something that he knows I already know. But I just play everything off because his pointless calls are comforting to me. I mean, he had to think of me to call, so I know I've been a thought of his at least once every day. I really miss him, though. Friday night, we went to the bar that we've gone to every Friday this year. I acted like he was a good friend who I was happy to see, but that's all. And he actually showed a little possessiveness for the first time. Terri said it was because Andy's kind of part of the competition now or whatever. It was nice. Plus, he came up to me and literally asked me if he could dance with people. And it turned out to be one of my roommates or other extremely unthreatening girls. I asked why he asked my permission, saying he'd have no obligation to ask me ever anyway, especially since I've been dancing with everybody I knew anyway. He said he just wanted to ask me. So what does all of this tell you? I know all this time apart is necessary and he'll never really go very far away, but I want to spend time with him now. I think of how Terri was so positive so many times that she'd never date John again and how they are now. And I feel better. So you were like my model, like, okay, well, they took a break and now they're great. You know, you went back with him. I know Andy and I have a lot to go through and I'm being very patient, but I hate it. I'm far from miserable, but there's just a void. Anyway, Tara and John are awesome, by the way. She still always talks about how he deserves a medal and how he's been so great. He deserves a medal for being with you. I don't know.
That's a weird.
And Terri,
I don't like it.
well, I think it's because of this. And Terri is back to the Terri I've always been used to. She's completely different from how she was just a couple months ago when she was so depressed. She's very upbeat and happy, and she seems to be so much more peaceful than she was. So I guess that about covers it. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm reading a book from my marriage class, which is funny. I was taking a marriage class.
Everyone should take a marriage class.
Yeah, about what fulfillment in life is and how to be fulfilled and how to be a complete person. Good stuff. Okay,
Do you
I'm off
remember the
to
name of it? I feel like I took it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. We were the same major. What was it? Do you remember?
No, but I could find out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I have my transcript in my Google Drive.
Oh my God. Anyway, Terri, why were you so depressed?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you kidding? When I first graduated college?
So is that what it was? Because you first graduated?
You were like, yeah, because you didn't have a job or whatever. We were temping.
96. You graduated in what year?
95.
Okay, so this is almost a year later.
I was subletting.
Yeah, so it's only 6 months later.
Yeah, it was a rental from a family friend. It was tiny. I wasn't going to stay there, you know, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I had like a internship with a book publicist that I went to a couple days a week. And the rest of the nights I was dancing at the Club Rhino. I was a cage dancer.
You were a cage dancer.
No, we
didn't get into that. We did not get into that yet.
So I was feeling on the up and up because my dance career was really taking off. It was just hard. So it was just like an awkward time. I don't know what I'm doing. All my friends had like kind of moved away, or I had no community at that point. And that's around January, I got invited to my friend Bridget's New Year's Eve party. And I had kind of not known who to call. I was alone a lot. And I like to be alone, but It was too much. And I was sad
Right.
and I was crying all the time. And just like, what am I even doing? That would come back soon after. But I went to Bridget's New Year's Eve party and saw a bunch of people from school. And I felt like, oh, I got invited to it. I mean, this is how sad and quiet it had been. She invited me to her New Year's Eve party. I remember I wore my commencement dress because it had been relegated to New Year's Eve and would soon become a Halloween costume. And I was just like, oh, I remember because someone like, let's listen to this album. It's so cool. Alanis Morissette's album. You ought to know.
Oh yeah.
And that was the height of that. And I remember being like, I can hang out with Bridget more. And that's when we started kind of hanging out again. And she was like, we should move in together because I'm going to have to leave this apartment. And I was, at some point, and I was like, well, I don't know. Cause I had cats. And she's like, well, I just don't want to live with cats. I go, well, listen, I have 2 cats. I'm not going to not have them. So that was a point of contention. Finally, like a year later, she was like, I don't even care if you have cats. Like we have to live together because she was like my closest friend at that point,
Right.
But moving in by myself to my first 1-bedroom apartment, which I remember was so expensive, was $700 a month. And I got the green couch for that place. I remember being there and being like, okay, here's my apartment. Here's my 3rd floor walk up or whatever. And I remember sitting there and just crying. I mean, it's like where I opened the TEDx talk that I gave that did so well. That is like the talk that put me on the map. I talk about that period. It was an awful time. I think right after college is incredibly hard. And I had you there. And I still was just.
I know, but I clearly was deep in it up till 6 a.m., up till 4 a.m. Like I was deep in the middle of.
You were.
Yes.
You were deep in the middle of that. And by the way, I was sort of dating John, but we were kind of breaking up. And then when I got a full-time job, we sort of were, he goes, don't you want to do your own thing and like have a life now? Because he was in school a few years behind me. And I was like, yeah, I think I do. So
yeah.
Hey, it's Terri from Generation Artex. And listen, I love a good story. Who doesn't? If you didn't, you wouldn't bother with books, TV, movies, or even podcasts. We love listening to stories, but there's also something really powerful about writing your own. You may see yourself as a reader or a listener, and maybe you wouldn't dare call yourself a writer. But here's the truth. If you can read, you can write. If there's something you would love to write, share, or get out there, there is no better or safer place to do it than this little program I run called the New Rules Studio, or Studio for short. It's a live, virtual, real-time writing space led by certified instructors where you get to explore your own ideas, your own creativity, memories, stories without judgment or criticism. Since you're a listener of this podcast, I would like to invite you to come write with me for free. You can get the invite at territrespicio.com/write with me. That's territrespicio.com/write with me. But you could not pay me to go back to the early 20s. I think this is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, my post college was all fuzzy because of the real world, right? That like overlapped. So that kind of gave it a whole other thing. But I did like 96. Brigadoon, first part of the year.
Yep.
I think I met Brian and started dating him in the summer. So that was fun times. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just deep in it, up late every night in games, like mind games with my boyfriend, on again, off again. Just what is that? What even is that? I don't know.
What even is that?
So funny to think.
Practicing at boundaries.
Practicing at boundaries.
You were like, I'm going to say this and you're allowed to do that. And you know
yes.
what I mean?
And playing with boundaries and where can the boundaries be? I don't know what kicked it off in the beginning, but yes, that's exactly what it is, which is odd and interesting.
Wait, can we just address the cage dancing thing in case people are blowing by that? I had been a dancer in college. I really wanted to find a way. I had been in a big show in Boston. And after that, I was like, but I want to keep dancing. But, no one's making a living dancing, really. And so I said, but I can.
So you were in Pocahontas before cage dancing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a real fall from grace. Yes, because I did Pocahontas. Cool. I did the Pocahontas stage show at the Wang Center right after graduation. It was like right on the heels of graduation because I was rehearsing at BC. I was practicing. So that was right after. So I had this big thing. I graduated. I went on to do this big performance at the Wang Center. It was a real high, and then it was a real drop. And what I did say is, hey, let's all go down. Do nightclubs hire dancers? Let's all go. Because I was the director of the dance ensemble. So I brought girls in. We did a routine. And then the manager of this place called Club Rhino, which was upstairs from a comedy club. Actually, no, the comedy club is upstairs. The club is downstairs. So as you leave the comedy club hammered and awful, you drift down to Club Rhino, which was decorated like a jungle theme, right across from the Wine Center, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was in that little area where there are bars. I'm sure it's very different now, but it was trashy, and it was painted all in black light and jungle scenes. And so there were cages and there were dancers in the cages. And I was one of the dancers. I was hired by a manager named Dee, and she was real tough, and she was always chewing gum. And she was like, listen, it's 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. That's the rhythm, So you would dance for 20 minutes. It's a great workout.
But it's you're in a cage.
Kind of nothing.
You're in a cage elevated up in the air, right?
In the air. It was just like at the bar level. So you're above, so people could see you from anywhere in the club.
You are.
I mean, that's amazing. Nobody can touch you.
But no one can
or
touch
you.
you. Yeah, or talk to you.
It's amazing.
There was a bouncer.
It was great.
Next to every cage. There was also a person dressed up as a gorilla in a gorilla suit that would run around and sometimes get in the cage with you, but not usually. And it would run around, and it was like kind of crazy. And it was
a man or a woman?
Oh, it was a man.
What did you wear?
I wore. This is a big thing because cage dancers, you think of them wearing like nothing or like a G-string.
Or topless.
I said, "What can I wear?" I mean, I was like fresh. I was a co-ed, and she's like, "Just wear white because white looks good with the black light."
Oh, with the black light.
And so I was like, "Okay." So I wore little shorts and a jog bra, like a good dyke. That's what I was wearing. A jog bra. Who wears a jog bra to dance in a cage? You're supposed to wear like a bikini or
like
something.
A sports bra? I don't know. I don't think that's
I was wearing a sports bra, like a good old sports bra, but I wasn't.
Were the other girls wearing white bikinis?
I was not out at the time. Some did. Right. Sometimes there'd be a girl wearing a white bikini or like a little cutoff. Like you would think they'd wear something sort of wild. I looked like I was about to teach an aerobics class is what I looked like. Yeah. It was pretty wholesome. So I wore little white shorts and white jog bra, and I had a little bob, and you would just dance. And then you come down, then you dance, and no one could bother you. I mean, it was great. I got paid like, I want to say I got paid like $80 for the night or something. I mean, I was like, I'm making a good pocket money over here.
Yeah.
But then I had to pay for a cab home because there was no, it was 2 a.m. when I would go home.
Oh my God.
No. And there's no other way to go home. And it would cost $20 or $25 to go home. And I'd spend half my money to go home.
This is hilarious because I also worked at a club after I graduated.
You did?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, what? Yes. You were a shot girl.
After I graduated college, but I made a
shot
ton of money. And I also, everyone wore like the other shot girls. I think you were supposed to wear black on top and denim on the bottom, maybe.
Yeah.
And I just wore like jeans and like just a tank top, and they were wearing like cut off shorts and cut off whatever. But I was like hard salesman. I made a ton of money. Oh yeah. We'd make like between $600 and $800 a weekend
per person.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You'd make your whole rent.
Oh yeah. Made a ton of money. And
wait, when was
weather
this?
dependent.
You were after
I graduated. It was, well, not only that, it was after I graduated, which meant it was after the real world and after the challenge, because I was also a waitress during the day.
Hi, I'm jumping in because what you've listened to so far was recorded at night, and the second half of it, for some reason, did not record. So what you're going to hear going forward is us the next morning, early in the morning, redoing the second half of the podcast you just listened to. So if it seems a little janky transitions, that's what it is. And if you're watching us on video, you see we're wearing different clothes in the second half. So that's what happened. Continue on. Bye.
The podcast situation is totally dependent on tech. And let us hark back to our very first episode that we recorded, except we didn't hit record when we thought it was recording. I'm going to say it was a UX problem. Totally user interface. They fucked up. But afterward was heartbreaking, but it's pretty heartbreaking because we lost a lot. So we're going to have to retread some ground because it was a good one. And it's some of the stories I don't want to forget. And they were really good. So when we last talked to you, I was talking about cage dancing and how college students all over the Boston area just graduate with huge tuition bills and then go work for local bars and restaurants. And I did it. I thought it was a great deal. It was a lonely ass job that I went to at 11 o'clock at night was when my shift started. And I would come home at 2:30, and T's don't run in Boston that late. So I spent half of what I earned on a cab home. I don't think that was a wise decision, but it felt like I was doing something. And by the way, in case this didn't make the cut, I was not naked. I was not scantily clad. I was dressed like a proper co-ed in a white jog bra and white shorts. And that was it. I wasn't twerking. That didn't exist. I didn't wrap my butt cheeks around the bar.
You wore white because of the black lights. But Terri, you look like you were in all white going to a Zumba class. I think is the way you were dressed.
Exactly. This was not like, oh, she's a club dancer. Like I went to a queer pride party outside where there were dancers. They were wearing rainbow string bikinis. That was not my deal. So I thought somehow I just had a professional dance job. I was professional. That's how I treated it. But anyway, while I'm doing that across town, Kim was working at Hard Rock. You were working at Hard Rock.
No, years later.
Hard Rock Cafe. No.
You're collapsing time as if we were all after post-college together.
Well, I like to think of it all happening once.
And bars together.
Yes, when this is a sitcom or a show, it's happening at the same time.
No,
Kim's
it's not.
Hard Rock.
No, it's not. That doesn't make sense.
Apart. It would give the year.
Lori can still be a shot girl. On the weekend.
I was a shot girl on the weekends. That's right. And Waterworks.
So when you graduated college, you had just done the Real World. And then you went back for your last semester of college to finish.
Right. Because
you graduated
filmed during my second semester of college. So I had to leave school and miss the last
second semester of senior year.
Right.
Yeah.
Of my
it's
senior
a big deal.
year. Yeah.
It is a big deal.
I didn't really care, but I missed like senior week and all that other shit. And
you give a shit.
I did come back for my Bostonians final show though.
Acapella.
With my cast and the crew.
Right. Amazing. We were there. We're in the episode.
You're in
the Real World.
Lori, how far distant from when you finished Real World to when you started filming Real World Road Rules Challenge?
Same question.
10 times fast.
Oh, it was supposed to be like a month later.
Wow.
A couple of months later, but 9/11 happened.
Oh, right.
That's what delayed the shooting.
Yeah.
Right.
So my God. Yeah. So I filmed Real World in January to April or May-ish in New York in 2001. And then I got cast, me and Mike Mizan and The Miz got cast to do Battle of the Seasons. I believe
Battle
it was.
Battle of the Sexes.
No, Battle of the Seasons. And I didn't go.
Right.
That was what filmed during September, October, of 2001. Okay. And Coral was with me because we went to the VMAs. We were in New York City. Right. And then at 10 o'clock at night on September 10th, we were like, let's drive home and sleep in my bed in Boston instead of staying. We were supposed to stay overnight.
Right.
And then we left and then woke up in the morning to you calling me, Kim, because we got back so late and I was asleep.
Oh my God.
Yes, I remember this. And I called you and you were like, what's happening? I was like, turn on the TV right now.
And so Coral was with me. She was supposed to leave like a day or two later. I don't know. And from Boston, I was supposed to leave a couple days later to go to Mexico for the Battle of the Seasons.
Oh.
And then 9/11 happened. And then it fell under acts of God acts of war fell under the act of God clause. Wow. So I could get out of the contract because I was like, I don't think we should go. I called them. The borders were still not open yet. And I called production and I was like, this is like canceled, right? And they're like, no, we really need to be positive and move on. This was literally the borders weren't open yet. I was like, okay.
You're like, am I supposed to walk there? What are we doing?
I was like, I'm not going to go. I was if we leave, we might not be able to come back. Like,
right.
I won't
It
be in
wasn't-
touch with what's going on in the world. There wasn't the same, you know what I mean? They isolate you. So I would have no idea what's like happening if you guys were blown up or something. So I was like, I'm not going to
Unknown
go.
world.
And they're like, okay, all right. Well, I was like, I'll do the next one if you guys don't care. And that one was Battle of the Sexes.
So
But
wait,
they
they
were like,
did it?
okay, bye. Oh, they were like, okay. I hung up the phone and Coral's phone rang immediately after, sitting next to me. She's like, hello. I'm
Oh my
sitting right
God.
there. She's like,
Hello,
do
you wanna
do
travel?
care? I was like, why would I care? What are you talking about? And then
Yeah.
she so then
she
she
did
went,
it.
and then actually it was a really big deal because that was like a big solidifying of her relationship with Mike, because they were classically like what clashed in our whole season, and then now they were like a pair. So
Oh, that's good. So you helped.
yeah,
You
it was
helped the
really, really
plot.
That
great.
worked out.
And they gave us all these
You bowed
Puma
out.
clothes. They were like our sponsor, and I like had to give her all my Puma clothes so that she could wear them.
Oh my God. Because she had to wear them on
except for this one really tight shirt that she couldn't wear because her boobs were too big. And so I got to keep this one Puma shirt I loved. Yeah.
Oh
Hold
my
on,
God.
Lori, you were also supposed to be on Howard Stern, and that got canceled.
Yeah. I'm glad it was, because it was like, it wasn't of anything of value. It'd be like, who's this girl coming in talking? I just feel like it wouldn't have been like a conversation where
It would have not
they
been great.
respected me at all. Yeah, I don't think it would have been great. But anyway, so I then was like, okay, I'll finish my last semester of BC now because I'm home this semester. And school had started like 2 days before that, and they would not let me. They would not let me do it. It was so annoying. They wouldn't let me do it. They were like, sorry, it already started. I was like, you are all talking about 9/11 though. Everyone was doing the classes.
they're not
like they
really
didn't even talk
started.
about it. Right. I was
Also,
like,
it's a drop ad period for the first like 2 weeks anyway.
Right. They would not let me sign up. So then I waited tables then. And then I went back, finished the next semester. So I finished spring of 2002 and then left for the challenge right after that.
Okay, so the point of this was that after you graduated, you were a shot girl at a bar, and while you were a shot girl at the bar, they were airing that Real World Road Rules series on TV, and you were walking up to people with the shots, and your face was on the TV.
Yeah,
and it was like, "Hi, I'm Lori," and then it's like Lori, like written on the screen behind you.
And they were like, "You obviously didn't win."
Oh my God.
You
obviously lost.
That's
But
so
that's
good.
crazy. Can you imagine you're having dinner somewhere and you're watching reality TV and that person comes up to you? It's like, oh, I guess I know how this ends.
No, I would be like, you look just like her, and it's weird that you have the same name. Like, you wouldn't assume it's the same
you wouldn't even
person. It's just
assume
so
it's
weird.
her. Can we just talk
Yeah,
about
people
what
asked.
I learned? What I learned about Lori's job when she was a shot girl. This is so weird to me. I assume the bar just loads you up with shots and you walk around, and come to find out it's entrepreneurial. Lori had to buy the bottle. You had to buy the
I
bottle.
bought it at the end of the night, not in the front of the night. At the end of the night when we're all kind of cashing out and stuff. They're like, how many bottles did you use? And then I would pay out, $35.
But they deducted. They deducted because you got to keep
that's
all
not
this.
weird. None of this is
not
weird.
weird.
That's how that works. The weird part was that Lori took it upon herself to water them down so she could make the
lower them,
pucker.
which I think is illegal, like to water them. I don't know, but and then I didn't
she
fill
could
them all
sell
the way to
more.
the top. I like left as much so I could stretch a bottle out and then charge like kind of whatever I want.
Capitalism.
They gave us like a guidance on what we should charge, but then you could make deals.
You do whatever.
I'll give you two.
If it's $3, it's $5. It's $5 at $7. Right. It's $3 for $15. You know what I mean? Like you could do whatever you want.
And then later
$5.
it got. Yeah, and some of the girls were kind of timid. They would just kind of be walking around like waiting for other people to walk up to them and be like, "Can I buy a shot?" And I would like walk up to large groups of people and be like, "Who's doing shots? It's cash only."
And then she'd fucking shame them. $7 a shot. She'd be like,
"I did
$10 a shot.
Don't be a pussy. Buy the whole tray. If you're gonna buy 4, you might as well buy 10."
You're like, they're watered down. It won't even affect you. But you made
shaming them into drinking.
You made like $600 a weekend, which is a lot at that time.
Sometimes
on
800.
pucker. Who fucking knew? Like this one little bottle, or how many bottles you sold.
And then she would go to the bank with all of her singles that were sticky from the pucker, and they all thought she was a hooker.
And then I said,
sticky pucker singles.
Not a hooker. It's an 80s word.
Not a hooker is very boomerish.
Worker. A very
Let's say a sex
respected
worker.
sex worker.
Yes, we appreciate and support sex work because it's a necessary thing. It's a necessary role. And we
It's
wish
more
they
like
had health
stripping,
insurance.
really. A sex worker wouldn't take a whole bunch of singles. Strippers
Right.
would, because you put them in
Strippers would.
their
Oh,
pants.
yes.
Right.
True. I'm
Is
pretty
there
sure
is there
high-end
like a
escort-
new PC term for stripper? I don't think there is.
It's
Nah,
a
stripper's a
clothes-
stripper.
Clothes remover who
It's-
dances.
Unclothed dancer.
Declothing associate.
No, but sex worker is the right word, and they deserve more respect.
Okay. I
But that's not-
apologize.
Anyway, okay. So, was there anything else you want to add to that?
No, let's get into your reading that we lost.
Okay.
We lost and we will regain it.
We'll regain it. You'll relive it with me because you know what? I've relived this many times. So it's June of 1991. It's prom night. And it's these days really like they mean a lot, right? They have a kind of emotional weight. I knew how cliched prom night is, and here we go. So I write, this is it. I've begun my day with breakfast and now allotted an hour and a half to sit in the sun. I painted my nails blood red last night. I feel festive. The only problem is that I stupidly let the tailor tighten the middle portion of the dress, and now I can't zip it up. That
She
gets
thinks
me
she's
so
in
mad.
Bridgerton.
So dumb. That gets me so mad because I should have tried on. Yeah, you fucking should have tried on. I have to go around all night with the zipper halfway down. And that's what I did.
I don't even understand. There's so many
I don't
questions
understand
there.
that either.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't either, but when I see pictures, I was teeny tiny. So I'd like to know how small this dress was.
Like,
So
you
then
really
I'm-
needed to go to the tailor.
Right.
Oh no, I did.
No way.
The dress was too big. Yeah, no, I did go to the tailor. You know me, I love going to tailor. Okay, so now I'm recapping what it was because there were two proms that weekend. There was our school's prom, Oak Knowles prom, and then there was Seton Hall's. And I had a boyfriend, as you know, Brad, who went to Seton Hall. So I'm recapping the Oak Knoll versus the Seton Hall prom. The first night, Oak Knowles prom was at the Madison. It's exactly what you picture. And it was in the ballroom. I liked being with my friends and seeing friends from Del Barton because, of course, that's like the rich boy school. Yet it wasn't, quote, dance club enough for me. Music was not loud enough, no flashing lights or smoke, yet classy with a beautiful buffet.
Lame.
Who do
Nobody
you think
likes
they're
it.
doing this for? What are we, 45 years old? What is this like?
Yeah, it's like country club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
It's very Laura
See-
Ashley.
very.
Everybody was
Seton
wearing Laura
Hall's-
Ashley.
Not the prom.
Seton Hall's was at the Manor and was much more exciting as far as the atmosphere goes because the dance floor was under a glass roof and there were flashing lights and smoke. And these are very important details. And the music was pumped. Yet
Yeah.
only a couple friends were there. The cocktail hour was longer. What are they
Cocktail.
serving at a cocktail hour?
Did they have
Shirley Temples?
mocktails? Like, what?
I think they should have called it
call
mocktail
it
hour.
cocktail hour?
They did.
That
This is
wasn't
where
a
they get
word at the
you
time.
in the mind
Also,
of
like-
drinking. I wrote cocktail hour.
I'm just like wondering when you walk into prom, it's just like prom. There wasn't like a where you're in a separate room, you know,
No.
for a cocktail hour.
You don't think?
You know what I mean?
No,
I think
but
I
maybe
remember
because
dinner.
Seton Hall
Because
was
they
so
served dinner.
raucous, maybe they had like a build up. But would they give you
Maybe.
lemonade in like a champagne glass? I don't understand.
Right.
No,
I miss
no
the
one's
Manor.
drinking, but you're
Love the Manor.
pretending at drinking. That's where you start to be inculcated into the cocktail hour culture. Anyway,
We know you've heard Generation Artex, but are you subscribed? Hit the follow button wherever you listen to podcasts. That's one less thing to worry about and one more thing to look forward to. We'd love to keep this show going, and you can help. Please rate and review. Thanks.
so here's the problem: is that shit went down at our prom, the first prom, and here's where I get into it, and this is where teenagers get very dramatic. As far as how things went with Brad and me, they were a bit rocky at the beginning of the prom. As we neared the entrance of the Madison Hotel, I focused on the blonde head that was turned away. So basically what happened is I recognized someone there. And I'm like, oh, I know that person. Oh my God, like whatever. I'm like, ooh, he was super hot. I was just noticing him. It was a friend of someone I dated, or not even dated, someone I abandoned at another dance, in fact. Here I was months later in my polka dot dress, and I ran up to my friend and said, oh my God, that's so-and-so. I remember I told you I met him. Isn't he hot? Which I thought was a harmless thing to say. Half an hour later, I returned from signing in, to sign in at the prom, and throw my arms around Brad's neck only to get a snippy response. And I just was like, no. And I said, and I quote, "You are so sensitive. Brad, will you give me a break? I can't think anyone else is good looking. Like, I can't even first of all, do not defend when you find someone appealing. Come on."
Wait, by the
No,
way,
he said,
which friend did you say that to?
Mm-hmm.
Why did
That's
she
what I'm
tell
wondering.
him? Ugh.
I don't know that she told me. Maybe I made it obvious. Who knows? But I know I was not trying to hurt someone's feelings. I don't know.
How do you make it obvious? You're like, rear.
I was like,
smoking.
"Hey,
Whoa.
get a load of that guy. I wish I brought him to the
You're like
prom." Like,
whistling.
Yeah.
I was wolf whistling.
She's catcalling him.
And he said, catcalling. And he said, no, I just thought it was rude. Realizing that his jealousy was incurable, even to the point that he could worry when he was my date at my prom, I turned and ran to the bathroom. Cue the music. Cue the music for real, because this is where it gets serious. I stood over the sink and let my gaze burn deep into my own reflection, examining my nose, eyes, shoulders, arms, spleen, kidney, ankles.
I can't wait for the Netflix reenactment of
I
this.
know. I can
wondering-
see it. Wait,
drama
with her dress halfway zipped in the back, and she's leaning into this like hotel
I'm half
Zoom up on
bathroom.
her nose.
her shoulders.
Wondering what it was with me that after 7 months he could not believe in my love.
7
Yet.
whole months.
7 months, and you don't
really
trust
long
me?
at that time, though.
First of all, can we just
Yeah.
hark back as well to when he literally cheated on me with a friend? Well, he denies it now, but he had a dalliance with a friend of mine. It literally did happen, and it was him that did it. When you show me someone who's really insecure, and I'll show you someone who's a cheater, because that's the only reason why else would he worry about that? Because it might have been time for me to take my turn, but I didn't. That he would still doubt his worth if I looked at someone else. See, I'm already worried about managing his feelings about himself, which is a problem. I stared and finally let the tears build behind my defensive lashes. My friend opened the door and my face turned toward her, and I stammered that I just couldn't believe he would make me cry at my own prom.
I
He
think
made me
you
cry
stared
on
into the
snow.
mirror until you cried. I think you made yourself cry.
I think I'm one of the best actors.
I turn pretty.
Sounds
Defensive
like that.
lashes?
I don't ask. I don't know. The writing
Kind
is
of like it, even though it's like I kind of like
I
it.
hate it. It
Oh.
makes my skin crawl to read this. And then I tally it off. He made me cry on New Year's, on Memorial Day. Why not my prom? A little sarcasm. It seemed his insecurities knew no limits. Following right behind him was Brad, looking sorry and apologetic in his black and white tux. I stood looking up at him through my glassy eyes. I wasn't wearing my glasses. He never meant to make me cry at my prom. He told me that I knew how he gets, and I said that was no excuse. Correct. You don't get to say, well, you know how I get. You know how I be making girls cry at their own proms. You know how I be. Deal with it,
Wow.
bitches. So even though if the writing wasn't purple prose enough, the night began with a bit of a damper, but the heat of the night warmed the heart of forgiveness and a willingness to forget. To the beat of the rhythm of the night.
Yeah, but it's more like it wasn't loud enough. To the beat of the rhythm of the night.
Oh my God. And I
Well,
write
here's
in
the
caps, 7-month anniversary. Okay, that
Oh.
matters. My point is, and we discussed it, but there's a need. This is where we believe, and we've all been there, that the need for or the excitement around drama. You hurt me. I hurt you. I didn't mean to hurt you. Is so
It's a game
important.
of power shifting.
It's a game of power shifting, but I think it's a kind of weird emotional regulation. Like, how hard can I push before you respond? Like, if I cry, are you really more sorry? Like, you're trying to control someone. I don't think
Yeah.
it's love at all.
Mhm. It's a dance. But here's the thing.
You're correct.
Now,
it was the prom.
Even if it even if it like if it were like today, if I walked into a restaurant and with friends or something, and then Gordy like leaned over to Mike and was like, "Oh, that waitress is hot." I would be like, "What the fuck?" Like, I wouldn't like
You'd be mad?
like, "You're not allowed." Not like you're. No, I wouldn't be like mad where then I was stewing and we needed to have a fight. But it would start to be like, really?
tacky.
Like, did you? It's tacky. It's more like, did you say did you like unless he was like
Right.
he didn't say I was hot that day, but he couldn't help the words falling out of his
Well, right.
mouth for
The
that
waitress.
But guess
But
what?
excuse me.
Again,
But
she didn't
if he
say it
thought
to
it-
him.
right. If he thought it or said it to Mike and I'm not in earshot,
Right.
then who fucking cares? It's not even my business what he thinks of other people, right? Like that's the thing. It's more like I don't need to have my nose in it. So I don't think you
agreed.
said it really loud. And obviously someone was like, "Oh my God, Terry just called that guy hot," and said it to.
That's just looking for
Brad.
trouble. Again,
It's looking for
that's
trouble.
why
Everybody's looking for
gossip-
drama.
This is why gossip and drama is so important teenage years and why it's just the beginning. People think, oh, it's high school, but it's just the first time, not the last time. And gossip, same. If I know something you don't know, I have something over you. I have power
Right.
and I have something that you want. So as much as we know gossip's bad, we want the gossip. She'll come around.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who has gossip and go, oh, you know what happened? And that is, as much as a lot of it's lies, a lot of truth has been also communicated via gossip, but we
And
love it because it gives
Oh,
you
yeah.
power.
It was delicious. I'm sure she couldn't wait to tell him so that she
Uh-huh.
could see his
No,
reaction.
I don't think she did. I don't think she did.
You don't?
Somebody told him.
No,
Well, of
she wouldn't
course.
have.
You didn't say it to him.
Maybe
Somebody
I
said
did.
it
Go,
to him.
waka waka! Look at that guy. Look at my
Yeah,
fucking
maybe.
date.
Then you deserve it.
Waka waka. Oh
I
my
don't know where
God.
that
I
came
just
from.
love the scene. I see it like in a mini series on Netflix of you
But it's
staring
so
into the
awful.
mirror.
Oh,
Oh
come
my
on.
God.
It's so pathetic.
Hilarious.
I think I was like,
Ugh.
there's one other time, I will tell you, there is one other time I did look into the mirror in the bathroom as an adult. And it was after I found out a boyfriend I had at the time. I was in New York, so I was a full-fledged grown up. And a boyfriend of mine cheated on me, but told me. And I said, what's the one thing I asked? I said, if it ever happened, please don't burden me.
Don't let me
with
find
your
out.
bad decision. Don't burden
Right.
me with your bad decisions. And I said to him,
Right.
because he was
100%.
a singer-songwriter and he was adorable. I said, you're going to probably one night find your tongue in someone else's mouth. Please don't tell me. Like, protect me. Literally keep me safe health-wise.
Totally.
And keep me safe emotionally. That's your job.
Mhm.
But no, he had to piss and stomp around and be weird. I go, what's wrong? And then he's like, there's someone else. Can you
Oh,
imagine?
he said it that way? There's someone else? Well, that's different than I hooked up with somebody.
Well, correct.
now I
but
Like
know
I
someone
was
else
that
like,
he's
story.
involved with?
he didn't say there's someone else I'm involved with someone else now. He just said something happened or there's someone else. It wasn't nothing, but it was also like, okay, I told you I didn't want to know. And I was like, why does he want me to know this? Like,
Yeah.
he just couldn't help it. He was a serial cheater. He couldn't help it. But I got up and I said, okay, I need a minute. And I did go into the bathroom. So these many years later, I found my friend in the reflective surface. and
But you
said,
went to the bathroom
here
and then
again?
looked. Yeah.
I
and
looked in
stared
the
at
mirror.
yourself.
I did.
Okay.
And I said to myself, because honestly, I was over 40, I think. And I had never had a situation where someone told me they'd cheat on me. Like that, they probably had, but I didn't know.
The Brad story that you told us was about.
Yeah, but that was
cheating on you.
he maybe kissed her, if that, and he swears even to this day he did not. And
Okay.
I also, like, whatever. My point is,
Okay.
this is my boyfriend sleeping with someone else. And I was
Oh, he
so
slept with
shocked.
them.
I was shocked. And this is going to sound awful when I say it. I
Good.
was sort of like impressed. I was like, look at you. Like when you think you have someone right around your finger and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
where
went
your
to the
head's
bathroom.
messed up.
Yeah, it is messed up. And I went into the bathroom and I looked at myself and I said, all right, we're going to hold it together because we're out. I'm out at a restaurant. Like, I'm not going to.
It's your favorite place to cry.
It's my favorite place. But I didn't cry. I looked at myself and I said, look at you. You're the girl who got cheated on. Deal with it. Like, deal with it.
Did you say that out
And-
loud?
No.
How?
Out
I don't know. All
Out
of
loud, I
these
said,
moments.
You are loved. You are respected.
No, you did
You
not.
are worthwhile. No, I didn't.
I don't know how you stare at yourself in the mirror with these big dramatic moments. I couldn't
I
take
don't
it
even think I could
seriously.
do it.
If I
Also-
tried to experience that for myself, I wouldn't be able to do it seriously.
But I don't
just-
think I was like this, looking in like this. I think I was just looking at
think
myself
you
and
were
look
like-
at you. What
No,
do you
I
look
still
like
can't-
when you find out? I was like, what do you look like when you find out you've just been cheated on? And I just wanted to take a mental snapshot. And I was like,
Well, and the kids today, they would film themselves immediately to cry in the camera
In
and
the
then
bathroom.
share that
That's
moment.
what
better
just
because
told
it's
me.
intended for an audience. When you're
Yeah,
by
that's true.
yourself
There's something
doing
cringier
it,
when it's
weird.
just you.
Yeah.
I'm more embarrassed to do things alone than I am in front of other people. And
Yeah.
yet I'm just telling you, I did look in the mirror and I felt bad for myself. And then I said to him, I know we're going off the rails, but I said to him, okay,
There's no rails.
let's talk about this. Do you wish whatever happened, whoever, I don't really want to know who this is. I said, just do I know them? Because that would matter. No. Someone from deep in the woods of Brooklyn. I was like, fine, I don't care. Do you wish it didn't happen? Like when you think about it now, are you like, fuck, why did I do that? It was so dumb. I just wish I could delete it. Or are you thinking, I think I need to make a change in my life because I have I was like, if I only wanted you to tell me if it was time for a serious shift. But like, if you wish you could delete it, we can delete it right this minute. You have a grace period right now. Do you want to delete it? Do you want to delete it? And he said, I don't know. I have to think about it. And I said, okay.
Oh, all right.
That's your answer.
That's your answer. But me, like an idiot, I said, okay, we'll take some time, take the weekend to think about it. Then he invited me to dinner. I went out to dinner with him. He seemed very charming. And I was like, oh, I think we're back on track. And we had a lovely dinner and he was very himself, flirty and normal. And at the end we get the check and he goes, I think I just don't want to be in a relationship.
He's like, you failed.
And I
You
go,
failed dinner.
What? Like we hadn't talked about it. We were just having dinner. I was like, oh, I guess we're going to pretend it didn't happen. And he's like, I think I just don't want to be in a relationship. It's not even that I care about this other person. I just don't. I go, oh my God. I was so embarrassed I had misread that.
Yeah.
I got up and I left and he was following after me and I walked without stopping to the 14th Street subway and I said, give me my key. And he goes, right now? And I go, yes, right now. And he gave me a key and I did go down the stairs and sob on the subway the whole way home, which to the credit of New Yorkers, they allow a lot of public crying without interference.
They don't care.
They don't
But did
care,
you look at your
also
reflection in the window?
I looked at my
Yeah, did you
reflection in the
stare?
subway window in the dark,
Like going by.
running through the passages underground, wondering what other secrets my relationship held. No, one guy with a backpack and a tie on was going to get off the train. It was pretty much empty. It was like,
Was it just a backpack and a tie?
What?
Did he have underwear on at least?
I'm just
He was
picturing
just in a backpack and a tie.
and a backpack.
No
Totally
shoes
naked.
on
New
the
York.
subway?
It's New York. You don't know. And he goes, and I'm sitting there just like, like sobbing, ugly crying on the subway. And he goes, you're all right, right? Like you're going to be okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to
It's a weird way to say that.
You're all right, right?
He's
You're
like,
gonna be
do
all
I
right?"
need to do something? He's like,
Yeah,
do
but
I
you're
need to
fine.
intervene? Am I just a really bad Samaritan?
Exactly.
Right?
He wanted to clear
Can I
his
say, though-
conscience, white man.
Yeah.
But anyway.
that thought you had though when you first went into the bathroom, like the good for you, or that
Yeah.
happened.
You want to go
me.
back on that?
Yeah.
That happened to me. I don't want to say his name.
Don't use real names.
Have we used Ken before?
No.
All right.
No.
so
No,
we'll say
don't use
Ken.
Gary because then you can't talk to Gary about it.
Because we don't even know who Gary is. We have to.
Yeah,
I'm always
assign
talking to
that.
Gary about
Let's
it.
say Ken.
So we'll say Ken. I was with Ken, and he and I had been on again, off again. This is also in my adult life, and eventually it was like this needs to end. It had been so many months since we had sex,
a long time.
and I knew this because every time I got my period, I wasn't in any way worried about getting it, even though I was safe. I was still sort of like, I'm definitely getting it. I'm not have to be worried about it. Like there were so many cycles of that. And I was like, nothing's happening between us. We're like brother and sister. Like we need to end this. And so I went to his place and I was like, so this is done. Right. This is over. And he's like, yeah, I mean, we really need to talk about this, or like, this is definitely not going to work out. I was like, no. It's already not worked out. Yeah. We're done. Like
we're
this
done.
is
This
like
is
this
past
is the
tense.
moment where we're like officially like this is
I'm
done.
putting the punctuation at the end of this actually right now.
Yeah. Return, new paragraph.
Yeah. And he literally goes, good for you. And I was like, ew, fucking gross.
That's
because
a
it was
little
exactly what he was thinking.
patronizing.
I didn't. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And I know that's
Yeah.
it was exactly what you were thinking. It was like, I didn't think it. You had it in you. I didn't think you'd ever have the
Yeah.
balls to like leave me.
Yeah. I
And
know.
he like basically said that. And I was like, ugh, gross.
You're like,
That is
exclamation point.
Yeah.
I'm out.
P.S. That's not. I get the similarity you're seeing, but
they're
the
not the
emotion
same.
of it was not, because I was like, oh shit.
Right.
Because my kink is that I do like when I know, I mean, this is not very unique as a kink. It's the beginning of all kink, is that I like when someone finds my partner attractive. Like, I like that. I'm like, all right, like, you know, it raises
Yeah, I
your
do too.
status. It raises-
I love
so
that.
I like that. And so when I was like,
Mhm.
oh, look at you, like that, in somewhere there was a kink in there that I was like, ooh, now I want to know who it is. And I want to know, like, and he's like, oh, she's just some girl lives in the complex. They all lived like rats in Bushwick and these little crevices where he didn't think there could fit beds. But my point is, I let that go. I said, that's it. And then a long story later, which we'll not talk about right now, he came back. And because in my mind, I was heartbroken because I didn't get to call it. I always had ended the relationships.
You
I
wanted the
am
power.
ender. And
Yeah.
I felt like it was taken away. I said we weren't going to be together forever, but I would have liked just a little more time, and I want to call it. So eventually he does come back, and with a big fanfare and everything else. And my point is, we went to a Christmas party at his complex, his rat complex. And he goes, we were talking to someone and we walked away and he goes, oh, that was her. And I go, wait, what?
So
What?
unnecessary.
Who? That, and
Why?
no, but
Why?
I wanted to know.
You liked
Because
it.
I said, is she going to
Yeah.
be there? I liked it. And I also wanted
Oh.
to see. Because in my mind, she's 5'10", looks like Uma Thurman. Like, I mean, she was just like the
Right.
most badass, beautiful hipster Brooklynite you could picture. And I go, wait, where? And she's like, oh, she lives
That you're
next
like
to
that
her.
mere
Go,
mortal?
so let's go over there. I said, I want you to introduce me. And I
Okay.
wanted to know we're together. And so he was like, okay. And he's like, Gladys, this is Terry.
Gladys.
That's not her name.
He was 90.
I met the girl. She was nothing to write home about. She was
Wait,
completely
she's just a
forgettable.
person.
She was not
You-
hot. She was not
You
interesting.
talked to her first and then she walked away and he said that was the girl. So you
No,
didn't
he was
know.
talking to her.
She said something to him and I wasn't even paying attention. I go, wait,
Oh, right.
what? Like I didn't even register her. And
Mhm,
so then I
mhm.
went to go meet her and I was like, and I wanted to rub his face in it so bad. And I was going to be
Yeah.
a real bitch about it. I wasn't mean to him all night, but I was like, are you serious? I go, oh my God, that's so really? You did that over that? Like I was so mean because I wanted to be like,
Oh.
no wonder you came back. Like I was so fucked because I was like,
That's
who has
not-
the power now? But let me just say, now that I'm out, it's not that everything was a lie because it wasn't. I had real feelings for people and men. I dated men, but it was a lot about that game and a lot about what you're
Yeah.
kind of supposed to do. Like, I'm not trying to fuck around with, well, any of the girlfriends I've had. And I've had, let's just say I've made up for lost time. I'm in a relationship now that is serious, but I never did this to other women. And it's just like, I was
Because it
playing
was a
game.
game.
It
You
was
were
a
playing a
fucking game.
game. Yeah.
Because I
it's just
wanted
different.
someone to like them so that I would want them. Because a lot of times I'd get the guy and I'd be like, now what do I do with it? You know?
Yeah.
Him.
Right.
Him. What do I do with him? Anyway, so that's that story. And it you know, echoes back to the prom. Don't comment on other people in front of your partner.
Yeah, but we don't even know if you did. So
Who knows? Excuse me, I'm
knows?
gonna go look in
Okay.
the mirror. I want to center myself after this discussion. Okay.
all right.
That's
Well,
enough
that's
on
enough.
this.
That's
Okay.
enough.
Bye. This episode of Generation Artex was produced by us, edited by us, and hosted by us. Our theme music is by Danielle Musto. Podcast editing and sound by Kim O'Brien. Written content by Terri Trespicio. Cover art by Lori Regan. Original logo design by Ryan Andrews of RyanMade.com. Please follow, rate, and review to help save more of Gen X from the swamps of sadness. Follow us on Instagram at Generation Artex. That's ARTAX. And visit us at generationartex.com.